Hi, my name is EJ Massa. I've definitely caught a few food gadget trends.
I've played around with sous vide, and I still use my pressure cooker for many of my meals.
One food gadget trend that I completely missed was the air fryer. You know, I usually cook in a cast iron pan or in the oven, so I didn't think having a tiny oven that takes up space on your counter was really all that necessary.
But I was in Walmart the other day and I saw their cheapest air fryer, their mainstay brand, and naturally I thought to myself, can that make ribs? So of course I had to get it and find out. I got black because I'm a coward, but also because I'm a messy bitch, and I figure black will hide all of my dirty secrets. I'll make sure to cook french fries in it because it's on the box. You gotta do it. Inside the box, you'll find a quick start guide, which all seems self-explanatory, and some instructions which include a lot of recipes you can cook in the device. It's always fun to see what companies think to include in these recipes. Only thing left in the box is the unit itself. It's nice and light, but not too cheap feeling. With its nonstick tray, a hair over 2 quarts in capacity, not terribly big, but enough for a serving or two. I like that it's all knobs and not touch buttons. So you have the temperature knob on top and the timer dial underneath that. There's something nice about not having LED displays or whatever, just dumb old knobs. And here's what makes the air fryer an air fryer. It's just the heating element with a fan behind it. That's it.
My understanding is that a conventional oven, one without a fan, it heats a chamber and the food, as it cooks, forms a cooler layer of air around it because the air is not moving much. And in a convection oven, like an air fryer, the fan is constantly moving that air around, so that cold layer around the food never forms. And so the food cooks faster as a result.
All right, let's try this out with the food advertised on the box. Frozen French fries. I'll try a half bag of these organic French fries. I've cooked enough of these in the regular oven, so I usually know how they turn out. The instructions say to preheat the air fryer at 360 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's what I did. You can see that the heating LED turned on. When the LED light for heating turned off, I figured it was up to temperature, and I put about half the bag in the tray. Place that back in the machine and set the dial for 10 minutes. Now, one thing I'm noticing is a strange burnt plastic smell. It also seems quieter than I would have thought with the metal fan in there, so I was a bit concerned. I took the fries out halfway through to shuffle them around and they were still super ice cold. And then I knew for sure there was a problem. It turns out the heating element turns on, but the fan doesn't spin. So I have a busted unit, brand new, out of the box. Lovely. Well, I returned that one and I got a new one. Hopefully I have better luck this time. One cool fact I found out is they have even more colors than the last time I went. A purple and a blue, along with a black and white. But I was still a coward and got black. Let's see if this one works. There we go. You can clearly hear the fan this time. Nice and strong. I poured some fries into the basket, placed that tray in there, and set the dial to 10 minutes at 360 degrees Fahrenheit. Halfway through, I took them out, and they are not ice cold. That's very good, a very good sign. And I gave them a little shake to mix them up a bit. When the time was up, they could use a little more time, so I put them in there for 2 more minutes. A total of 12 minutes, and they looked done. Probably could have gone a bit longer, or maybe cooked less fries in the basket so they would crisp up a little better, but these are about what they look like in the oven with the conventional directions.
So it's fully cooked in about 12 minutes. The instructions said 10. But usually when I use an oven for half bag, the bag says 16 to 19 minutes and usually takes 25 minutes. And the quality is just the same. I mean, this is what you'll get after 25 minutes in a conventional oven. And the air fryer only took 12 minutes. It definitely does it fast, way faster than the conventional oven.
Now, I love cooking chicken thighs for everyday meals, and I saw this recipe for Cajun fried thighs in the instructions. I decided not to do this specific recipe, but it inspired me to just cook some basic chicken thighs in here as a test. Wait, served with maple syrup? Is maple syrup actually in Cajun cuisine? I know Cajuns are originally from French Canada, but I didn't think that they brought maple syrup down with them. I did Google it, and no, there is no maple syrup in Cajun food. It's just a modern twist that people have been adding to it. I'm going to blame modern Canadians. They're always trying to put their maple syrup on everything. Anyways, I'll go much simpler for my cook and just use Killer Hog's all-purpose rub to season the 2 chicken thighs. The rub is basically a salt, pepper, garlic rub, which I love for chicken. It's basic, but it works. I place the 2 thighs in the tray, set the temperature of the air fryer to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and place the tray into the air fryer and turn the dial for a 20-minute cook. After 20 minutes, and man, those look good. But I'll check the temp to see if they're up to my desired temperature, and not quite, so I put them back in for another 10 minutes. Took them out again, and man, that skin looks so crispy and delicious. I checked the temp, and they are done. Put them on a plate and listen to how crisp the skin is. Some crispy skin ASMR. Let's cut off a piece and have a taste.
Such a crunch. That skin is amazing. That's probably the best skin I ever had out of an oven. Not gonna lie, I think if I were to make anything in this air fryer, it would be chicken thighs with the skin on. It's really good. Chicken doesn't need much. Salt, pepper, and garlic. It's really good. And that air fryer, listen to that crunch.
That's right, the main event, ribs. I have baby rack ribs picked up from Big Y. First, we'll remove the membrane because that usually gets stuck in my teeth, and I'd rather not floss more than I have to. I pulled it off impressively in one strip, which is rare, and I think that deserves a medal. Since the air fryer tray is so small, I'll have to only cook a portion of the rack. So this will just be a rib snack instead of a rib feast. I seasoned the ribs with, again, the Killer Hogs AP rub and layered on Killer Hogs The Barbecue rub. Another one of my favorites. Once all sides are seasoned, I topped it off with a pat of butter, and I wrapped them tightly in heavy-duty foil. Wrapping the ribs will ensure the ribs will be tender. Nestled that packet into the tray, snug as a bug in a rug, and I set the air fryer dial to 250 degrees Fahrenheit and placed the tray into the unit and turned the dial to 30 minutes. After the 30 minutes are up, I flip the packet, put them in for another 30 minutes. Yes, that's a long time, but it will be worth it. And when that bell goes off, it's time to take out the packet. I inspected the meat and tugged on the bone, which seems like it could pull away if I tugged harder, so they feel done to me. And then I got out, what else? Sweet Baby Ray's, and I painted the ribs on all sides with this sweet sauce. Placed the ribs back in the air fryer, changed the dial to 360 degrees Fahrenheit, and I put them in for 10 minutes. 5 minutes later, I poured a little more sauce on them to glaze on another layer. 5 minutes later, it looks perfectly caramelized and ready to eat. So I put it on a plate, and oh my goodness, it looks perfect. Cutting into it, it feels perfectly tender. Obviously, there's no smoke ring because, well, we cooked it in an air fryer, but they look good nonetheless. So let's try them out.
That's a perfectly cooked rib. Obviously, it doesn't have the smoke, but if you only have an air fryer, I mean, you can make some pretty good ribs. The amount of time I cooked it made them perfectly tender. The air fryer also caramelizes those ribs like perfectly. Like the way it develops that and unleashes the flavor of the barbecue sauce is actually something special. So if you have only an air fryer, you can make some ribs. So if you have one that's actually working out of the box, I think this device will do you well. It's probably only good for a single portion or maybe 2 small portions. Personally, for my family, I'd probably want one that's 4 quarts or larger. And I don't know what the longevity of this unit will be, but so far so good. There hasn't been any problems since
replacing it. I probably won't be making ribs in it. It's super impractical to do that. But I will be making those chicken thighs again. And if I want a side of fries, it cooks it much faster than the conventional oven. So that's what I'm going to use it for. And that's all I have for right now. Until next time, bye.